our viewers.
Well, climate change itself is perceived as a security threat. Reason being that its effects are felt at multiple areas. Of course, the shrinking water resources, which means that food security is not guaranteed. It's also through the effects of climate change that you see forests, diminishing, animals dying, and in a number of cases, climate change is linked to issues of, the desert locusts invading, coming over, and of course, as you heard from one of the participants or contributors, there is a problem of the health, deterioration of health, and so on. So there is no doubt that climate change has a major impact on the stability of our group, of our planet. It much more affect those countries that are poor, particularly in the developing world. Africa as a case in point. So that is why the argument is that climate action is now ranked as part of what we call the global public goods. This is a service that must be given to everyone, must be accessed by everyone, because it means the survival of everyone. So the concept of global public goods, whether at the local, national, or global, is key. Now, water is, everybody needs water, everybody needs energy, everybody needs all these things. And the debate we are having now in Nairobi is about how do you deliver this global public goods, which is basically climate action, and how do you debunk it so that it does not continue to be a danger or a security threat to countries particularly the global south. And that's why I feel that we are holding the wrong end of the stick. Why are we holding the wrong end of the stick? Because the debate is about climate action. It is not about how that climate action is going to affect our economies and how it's going to affect our transitions. Take, for example, Tanzania and Mozambique and part of other African countries have discovered oil and gas. Uganda has discovered this oil and gas. What are they supposed to do? To abandon their oil and gas and move to other energy and therefore start importing panels that are overpriced because they don't have the technology. Again, that's another problem we need to address. Access to technology that enables you to move from fossil energy to the green energy that is, environmental friendly. So we are beginning to see a continuation of the old debates about neocolonialism. And there is a lot of, those who are looking at the social media and even mainstream media, there is a huge debate about neocolonialism. I know we are nice to each other in Nairobi. I also want to be nice to our guests who have visited our city, so that I don't want to pollute this debate by overbeating this notion of neocolonialism. But the truth of the matter is, the elephant in the room is about energy and how you transit from energy, the neutral energy, which Africa is abundant in, and to the new energy. Let me make one point. Look at the issue of movement from the vehicles that are fueled by petroleum, and these fossil energy sources, and to the one that are now electric vehicles. In Kenya, we have about 2.2 vehicles on our roads, and only 350 cars on our roads, according to yesterday's data. So how are we going to move from this 300, to get to 2.2 million vehicles? Compare with South Africa, which is also not faring very well, but it's still doing better. There are 6,000 electric vehicles by now. But look at the number of vehicles. They have 12 million vehicles on their roads. That's South Africa. So for Africa to transit from this fossil energy to whatever is itself an economic revolution. How are we going to finance this kind of revolution? And what does this mean? It means we cannot utilize our resources. Tanzania cannot use its petroleum. Kenya cannot use its petroleum and gas. Uganda cannot use its petroleum. How do you compensate for this? And these other countries made their wealth, they made their resources by utilizing those resources. Yeah. So that is one side of the coin. The second side of the coin is what I call the new scramble for Africa. Almost 90% of cobalt in the world is coming from Congo. Cobalt is this kind of metal that is used for storing, isn't it? Storing energy in batteries, right? And the debate about energy is about three things. First, energy generation, and that talks about uranium. Why you have these wars in the so-called Saharan coup belts, because these are the key producers of uranium. Wagner and all these others are there. You talked about security.
Yes.